I was playing at South Melbourne under-19s then. In that area, in that time they had zoning, so we had to go from wherever we lived, and that was South Melbourne and not Footscray, as much as most of my friends borrowed and supported Footscray. I remember being picked up in taxis in those days from the Altona North Tech School, and being driven to footy training. No Westgate Bridge then, so we went the long way, so that was a bit of fun, but 3 times a week, so I felt like I was some important person getting picked up in a cab after school. So that was exciting. I had 3-4 years there, and then that's when they become Sydney, and we had to move over to and live in Sydney. And in those days, job prospects weren't a big thing from Dad's point of view, so he really wasn't keen on me going over there, mate. So I decided to stay in Melbourne. Terry Willer was my phys ed teacher. Port Melbourne was linked to South Melbourne in those days, so most guys left South Melbourne, went off to play to Port Melbourne. So I remember speaking to Wheels, and I said, what should I do? He said, well, obviously you should come down to Williamstown. So I remember having a stint at training at Willie, and then I remember coming down and seeing this awfully big ground I thought I'd never played on because I'd only sort of seen it as a junior. So I spoke to Wheels, and he said, come down here. I'd been a lot of pressure at Port, so I trained at Port, and I thought I'd come back and let Wheels know that unfortunately I've decided to stay at Port Melbourne. And I remember that day clearly, VD, he said, you're not getting out of this room until you sign. So I signed, and it was the best thing I ever did. So from then on, Will's not only my teacher but my coach, and he's a pretty hard nut, so he towed me in the line in those days. So that's how I got here, and then met the likes of the Roundies, the Kim Kershaw's, the Fothers, Mark Fotheringhams, and those guys took me under their wing, both good and bad, trained hard, but also enjoyed the beverage. And I'll have a little bit of a story if I could go on with this one, but I remember playing games in the old days. We used to have a sauna and a spa, and one of Roundy's calls was, we like to get together and have a beer, so there'd be about 10 blokes in a 4-man spa drinking cans, and then the other 8 to 12 would be in the sauna drinking cans. So I'd come into the aftermatch, and Lisa would look at me, that's my wife, and she'd say, well, what's wrong with you? You're walking all a bit weird. And you'd be like, I've just had 3 cans in the sauna. So that was recovery in Randy's terms. So they were the good old days, and they were the days where you'd have a beer after a game the next day just to run the saunas out, and big day. So yeah, that was all great fun, and went on, mate, to have a really good era in that time, and I think I played in 5 or 6 grand finals for a couple of wins. So played with some magnificent footballers, and obviously when you get in eras like that, you come across so many different wonderful people and human beings, families and friends, and to this date we're still all fairly close. Magnificent era. We used to go out for dinner after a game. There'd be nothing like first, seconds and thirds. There'd be 90 people down at the line dance down there listening to Frankie going off his head. So they were great old days, and I remember an incident there where Big Chopper was up there trying to talk to everyone, and a guy called Nuts Minette, and played baseball for Australia, and managed to turf a tomato from back of the room and hit Chop smack in the head, knocking him over. The place was up in laughter and roars, and we could not stop laughing. So that was a magnificent moment in our time there, and you speak to any of the old boys and they remember that day vividly.
Were you there the night I got dressed up?
No.
Were you there that night?
No.
Like Steve and I was.
Yeah.
We were actually at when they used to have, it wasn't the line dance, they had another one, Night had disappeared. Didn't know where he was, and he came out in the waitress.
Just up.
And he had like makeup on his eyes. My God.
That used to be, that was the, yeah, that's right. Jeez, but yeah. No, the good things about those days, Pete, as you know, with all our families involved, and I was one of the younger guys playing in that era, and just all the kids, our mates' kids, Chops' kids, and all those kids just growing up, and now seeing them, it's pretty special that we're all pretty close, and Lisa's here today, and she's looking forward to being with all the other guys. We're going back 25, 30 years, and so it's really special.
Sorry, mate. Listen, you've answered nearly all the questions
I was
going to ask anyway.
Yeah.
So
I thought I'd just keep. Yeah, you can cut it and do it if you like.
Mate, I've got one question,
yeah.
though, and you might have to think a little bit about it, but I think it's kind of pretty important, because I know, say for myself, I spent like 20, 25 years here, which is actually half my life.
Yeah, sure.
Like, nearly half my life. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
older than that.
Yeah.
you can't be in a place that long or be around those kind of blokes, and it doesn't. There's an impact on you. Like there's something you give. Obviously, you come and you give something, but you get something back, and it's not just footy and great memories, but like it shapes you as a person in many ways. So
Yeah.
what I'm interested in is like, what kind of impact you reckon did it have on you as a bloke?
But it had a huge impact, and it's more so the discipline side of things. I think growing up, you know, European parents, and they both working their bums off to sort of keep me at school and sort of kept me fed and all that sort of stuff. So coming to the club here and having to work really hard as a team in a team environment, you know, pull your weight, working together, it sort of shaped me later on for, you know, work life in a sense. So nothing comes to those that sit on their bums and do nothing. So the harder I work, like footy, harder I train, the better I got. And it was the same in business or relationships or anything. So you've always got to have a respect of what's around you, and working hard to get to where you want does work. I mean, you know, it's just proven that if you don't work at anything, it just doesn't happen. So it's funny how the wealthier or the fitter or those type of people seem to get better at that because they work at it all the time, you know. So I try and teach my kids respect. You know, there's a coach, captain, there's a teacher, there's whatever, you know. You've got to respect that, those people in those roles for a certain reason, and they're leaders and they control things. So treat people the way you like to be treated and work hard, you know. So I think that's the roundabout way it has shaped me. It's opened a lot of doors for me, without a doubt, the football, and you always be respectful, and you've got to always remember where you come from, BD, I think, and this is it. You know, I live on the other side of town, but, you know, I'll never forget these days and who it's made me and what I am today, I guess. So yeah, so hopefully I've answered that, but there you go. Good on you, BD. Is that all right?